Hi, and welcome to my Tuesday evening live card making tutorial. This evening, I'm excited. I have for you a card that shows that beauty is in brokenness by mending the cracks with gold. And I will be using we're going to get this right, the Kintsugi Inspirations Suite Collection. I had to look that up. Like, I was not saying it like Kintsugi, but I have practiced, and so that's how you say it. Okay, and let me start by introducing myself. I'm Shelley Godby, and for 24 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand-stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. Hi, Miss Danette. So let's have a closer look at this sweet collection. Oh, Miss Roxanne is here. Fantastic. Okay, so I had my card all designed and excited about it when I discovered that this is currently as a suite collection unavailable. So that's a reminder to grab things while you can with the suite BOGO sale. It doesn't have to be a full suite. Any of the suite products. So buy one, get one half off. And so, for instance, you could pick up the uh, Kintsugi Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper. Right now, what's unavailable in the bundle are the dies and the flower accents. Okay, so that's a reminder not to wait to the very last second. Go over there and take advantage and get what you can while we have this kind of savings. And if I remember, at the end, I have some cards to show you that these suites mostly are available. Hey, Miss Sherry. And Miss Tammy. All right, so let me show you. So we have the Inspiring Imperfections. Let's get rid of that. Stamp set. That's part of this. And currently unavailable means it will be back. You will be able to get this. Okay, and I did get it during the BOGO sale. It's like, ooh, I've had my eye on it, and it's like, oh my goodness. And so you can do that with many, many, many other products in the Sweet BOGO sale, but only through June 30th. Okay, and so we've got the vase, the cup, flowers, and then some really cool dies, but this is the part that is going to add the beauty of the brokenness, that it's all mended in gold, and you'll see gold accents throughout this, and that is the Japanese art form. All right, and then we have some really beautiful greetings in here. Thanks for helping me through this difficult time. You inspire me. I'm here for you. I know you'll get through this, and there is beauty in your history. And open dies for all of the images. And then we have a couple intricate ones, and this is how we will add the gold, and I will be using the vase. And so let me quickly show you. I have my dies on one of these magnet cards that I get from Stampin' Storage. And so instead of trying to get them back on that cardboard with the tape, these super strong dies, I don't lose my dies, and then I slide them into one of these storage pockets. And I'm showing you this because this is not something Stampin' Up! Carries. All right, and so that link will take you there where you can get all of your supplies organized like crazy in your craft room. Oh my goodness, beautifully organized. Okay, so I wanted you to see that. These just tickle me to no end. It does keep me organized and not losing anything. And then the flower accent, very pretty. And we're using the full suite this evening, and the joined together 3D embossing folder. Let's see. Yeah, you'll be able to see it better. Can you see it? There we go, against that black. And so that is that same Kintsugi that we've got going on here. Okay, so that is the suite collection. So this is really quite reasonable. I think it was $77.25 in the US. Okay, so, and I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story with you, and some of you already know it. But, I didn't show you the papers. Let's look at the papers. Hey, Miss Adelaide. Beautiful. And see the gold foiling? And petal pink pattern. And this is cool because look at all that. We will be stamping and embossing, but these you can go ahead and die cut. So very, very nice. You know what? I hadn't even noticed the flower. Just the vases stood out so much, but look at that. So you can die cut all of these. Very nice. Ah, it's on Miss Adelaide's list, and it should be. And I hope you are inspired by my card this evening. All right, so let's not tuck that back in. I was showing you all the patterns. Beautiful paper. And so, this is part of the buy one, get one half off. So you could pick up 2 packs of paper, or, well, right now you can't get the Suite Collection. So you could pick up, parts of it. And of course, mix and match. Everything doesn't need to come from the same suite. That gold foiling, isn't this beautiful? And so these are the 12 patterns. Basic beige. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. And my card turned out to be in my starting to become signature simple understated style, because the samples in the book are pretty too. And I didn't make any of these. Let's see, here we go. And those flowers, it's interesting here. They're using them with the for the cracks as a branch. They're using them as a branch that they put in the vase, and just a branch here. So very, very clever how they've done this. And usually I didn't even turn the page. I didn't turn the page to see more samples. And there we go, some more samples. So, you can always get inspired from the cat. Oh, and then they even tell us what kintsugi is. A traditional Japanese technique for repairing broken pottery with gold lacquer. The mended gold veins become a celebration of imperfection instead of hiding it. So fantastic. It's really an interesting art form of art. Okay, so I want to do this nice big vase, and some of the colors, I can come in closer now. Some of the colors in the designer series paper, the specialty designer series paper, well, one of them is cloud cover. And as you know, we don't have cloud cover in a classic Stampin' Pad. But what we do have is the ink refill. And I'll quickly give you what happened there. The chemicals in the cloud cover ink didn't play well with the chemicals in the firm foam pad. So it wasn't stabilized. But it works fine on a felt pad. So you can get the ink spots, the uninked ink spots. I wanted something bigger. So, whoops, here we go. I found this. Here we go. Oh, I should show you this. I found these on Amazon so we can make our own ink pads. Okay. So I found the felt pads, so bigger than the 1-inch squares. So you can follow that if you would like to do that as well. Okay. And I was just really tickled because this cloud cover is so pretty. All right, so take this off. Now, I do love our firm foam pads, and I found firm foam pads, but, if it worked, Stampin' Up! Would have done it. And so, in colors, these are 25-27. This is going to allow me to have cloud cover for the 2 years that it's here. I just thought of something. I guess we don't have to think about it coming back ever as a core color, do we? Since they couldn't stabilize it. And there we go. So you can do the pottery as it is. There's nothing saying you need to add the crack, but what I'm going to share with you, I definitely want to. I got all excited thinking about that. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is emboss. So what I have here is, as I took everything out of it, the Embossing Additions Toolkit. And so you've got this tray to collect your embossing powder. The embossing buddy will use that, but we're going to use everything. Well, except for this. This is to funnel it right back into the bottle. I probably won't take the time to do that. And what I have here is from the Wow Metallic Gold embossing powder. And so all the supplies are listed under the video. And embossing powder wants to stick to what's wet, which, well, in this heat could be, the oil in my hands. So this embossing buddy, you rub over, and that helps get rid of any of those oils. The embossing powder sticks exactly where you want it. And when embossing, it's best to use a pigment ink because it is slower to dry. It gives you time to get it embossed, and it's thicker than the classic pads. So let's get this good and inked up. And I thought, surely this isn't going to fit, but it does. It fits perfectly. So we'll see how well I do right now. And so if you have not yet, please give my video a thumbs up and a share. I really appreciate that. And of course, come in here and say hello to the sweetest stampers ever. The nicest group of ladies. Okay, so let's see how well I did. And it's a clear ink. So on white, really difficult to see, but you will see it as soon as I sprinkle this on, because it'll cling to what I just stamped, and hopefully just what I stamped and not any fingerprints, because we ran the embossing buddy over it. So, when this suite sale started, I went through every suite that was listed on the on the online store and found bunch of products that were listed as part of the BOGO. I checked right before this video. I guess Stampin' Up caught on. I guess their intention wasn't to have those 80 plus products I found. So, oh well. If you had ordered early enough, you would have gotten it. So I'm sorry for any bad information. It was very good information at the time. So you see how that clung to it? Well, this is why I'm a stamper, but that's not the best part. And I just dropped a really good part. This is part of the Embossing Editions toolkit, and these are tweezers, which I just love. And so they're nice and strong because they're metal, but the tips are plastic, so the heat won't radiate up and burn my little fingers. And what I really like is I squeeze to open it, and then it clamps on, and I don't have to have this death grip on there. Really great for anyone with arthritis. Okay, and me, so I don't have to hold on. Thank you, Miss Roxanne. So what I have here is the heat tool. Fabulous. All right, so for anyone who will ask, because it always happens, can I just use my hair dryer? No. Your hair dryer does not have enough heat. Okay, what I will say is do not use this on your hair if you like it. It's very intense heat. And there are two settings. The first one to dry ink, because sometimes we want it to hurry it along. And the second one, more intense, is what will melt this embossing powder and take it from this powdery finish to a beautiful gold. Look at that. Can you see that happen? It's like magic every time. Isn't this gorgeous? And so it just takes a few seconds to get it started. Once it does, the paper's hot and it just goes. And when you see you're done, stop. You don't want to overheat it. And I always do turn it in the light. Okay, you can see all of that, right, is melted. But if I saw a spot that wasn't, I could very easily, and I've even done it the next day, go and finish it. Okay, so we have this embossed. We are just cooking with what? What do they say? Cooking with something right now. All right. So what I need is my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because we will die cut and emboss. So I love the small profile on this, how it folds up. And I do store it on a shelf, folded up with the mini behind it. Look at that. All right, so let's move the handle out, because I'm thinking the camera can focus better right here. So what I'm going to do instead of using plate number 1 and plate number 2 with my thin metal die, I'm going to use the magnetic platform. And we used to carry this, and we don't anymore. And I had given mine away. And because we thought we had one, and it didn't work out. So I bought another one on Amazon, and that's where I found it. And all those little circles that I'm showing you, well, that's all the little magnets. Okay. Those are the magnets that help hold, oh gracious, now that was loud, the metal dies in place. So regardless if I use plate number 1 and plate number 2 that come with it, I need a plate number 3. And then I have our stamped and embossed cardstock. I want this die, and I like to let it drop right on there so it finds a magnet. Okay, let's turn that over. There we go. Let it find it so the magnet isn't pulling on it. And we center this around. Let me back up and see. I think I'm a little low. I would love to stand up, but then when I tried that, I hit my head on the camera and threw it all over the place. Okay, so give me a second. Okay. All right, and so then I have some more cardstock here. Now, this is the cloud cover. And these little intricate flowers. That rough edge, that's cutting edge. Place that down. Okay. Oops, and keep it on the cardstock. And then you need to finish your sandwich with a plate number 3. And a sandwich is to get it to the appropriate thickness so it can die cut. If it's not thick enough, it won't do anything. It just, whoops, you're right through. And too thick, wow. Don't try to force it if it gets, if you have it too thick. Back up. Okay, let's see how, oh my goodness, not bad at all for being half blind. Okay, so we got that. This is what I love about my magnet cards, just right back on here. And this is popping right out. That's what I love about the Stampin' Cut emboss machine. I don't need a special plate or anything. It just does a beautiful job with intricate die cutting. Okay, so let's set all of this aside. And the cloud cover, well, I did tell you, that's a 25-27 in color. And, well, thank you, Miss Adelaide. Liking and sharing. All right, so here, what I was talking about, plate number 1. I do need this because we will use the Join Together 3D embossing folder. And the 3D embossing folders are thicker than the other embossing folders. So the sandwich is different. It's plate number 1. And then I have my embossing folder, some Misty Moonlight cardstock. Again, one of the colors in the Kintsugi Inspirations 12 by 12 specialty paper. And so I put this in, and you want the hinge to go through first. It's supposed to be less stress on your embossing folder. Easy way to remember that. Just have the Stampin' Up logo facing you. Okay. And then what you need, because, normally with a regular embossing folder, it'd be plate number 1, a cutting plate, your embossing folder with your paper inside, another cutting plate, plate number 3. Not with this. I am directly on, and this is the only time you'll do that, directly on the plate number 1, the platform, okay? But I'm not cutting. It will be just fine. What I need, though, is plate number 4. This is a specialty plate. It's a little bit thicker than a cutting plate. 2 cutting plates, too thick. 1 cutting plate, not enough. So instead of, trying to get it just right by cutting all kinds of cardstock shims, just use a specialty plate. And that comes with the purchase of a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or you can purchase it separately. And I do have it listed under the video if you're watching on YouTube, where you can pick that up to work with your Big Shot. Any die cutting machine with the same size plate, and the Big Shot is. So here we go. Now, isn't that pretty? That is really pretty stinking cool. You know what? To me, this has got to be the right side. Yep, because, the gold would be up. Oh, well, you know what? It could go either way. So, yeah. Card maker's choice, right? Okay. So, yeah, this is just humming along. So let me share why I was so attracted to this with you. I was attracted to this stamp set because, like I said, it's where, you know, mended with gold, something broken becomes a piece of beauty. And that's how I feel about um, my faith in Christ. My husband passed away from cancer. My world was shattered, much like this piece of pottery. And but because of what Christ did on the cross and my belief in that, I've experienced a kind of healing that only He can bring to life. So my life now, I miss my husband. It is not the same, but it is put back together and still a thing of beauty. And that's what inspired this card, and I want to share that with you. And so we've got greetings that go really well with that. So as I was designing, I was matting this in different colors, and I didn't want to take away from the gold, but I cut this fairly small, not a big mat, and it did seem to enhance it. I'm having a hard time picking which side I like best. You know what? I'm going to stay with that raised up because it's raised up on here. Yeah. All right. So, but this does not, this isn't nice and smooth to use my Stampin' Seal that I like so well. So instead, I'm going to use mini glue dots. You need something really good and strong, and this is it. And I'm finding it easier. Just take your pick tool and put them where I want them. I'm trying really hard not to touch them. Oh, Miss Cynthia's here too. Miss Roxanne. Oh, you're most welcome, Miss Roxanne. And so I just think of how this we can use for others. I mean, everybody has a story. Everybody has heartache. And what a thing of beauty this is. Okay. So do you like that little touch of gold behind it? All right. Well, let's put the vase on there. I guess I'm asking a question before you really see much of anything done. Okay, slide that into place. Press that all together. And then our vase. Oh, you know what I need to do? Okay, what I need to do, so this has a little bit of a chance to dry, I want to add these flowers. And Stampin' Seal, is it going to work? I wasn't sure because this is embossed and raised and all that, how well even the adhesive sheets. So I have the multi-purpose liquid glue. And we will put this on and let it air dry because I make a mess with any liquid glues. I've got it squirting out all over. But if you put that on, it goes on white and let it dry to where it's translucent. You still get a really good hold, but it's not squirting all over. It's a really, really good thing. Okay. And what I need are my Stampin' Dimensionals. I had some out that weren't as pretty. Here we go. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Cynthia. It's really sorry. It just doesn't seem to get any easier. Okay. So if it doesn't peel off, like that one didn't, see that? Press down with your thumbnail, even a really short one like mine, and that makes the back pop off. Here we go. And our vase. And if you'll remind me, I actually didn't use a greeting on the front of the card, but I did inside. So I will show you, as long as I remember, to show you the inside because, like I said, there are some really awesome greetings in here. Okay, so then I chose this pattern from the Kintsugi Inspirations, especially 12 by 12 designer series paper, and I matted it on to not a very big mat with onto Misty Moonlight. Okay, so I've got my Stampin' Seal, my finger where it's a little opaque, and I find about 1 inch in each corner is just about perfect. And isn't that pretty? So the cloud cover Against the Misty Moonlight. We know it goes well with Secret Sea. And then I chose, okay, good, they're both here. This pattern, isn't that beautiful? And this. Okay, so this is nice and matte, so I will stay with my Stampin' Seal. There we go. And on here. So that sweet sale is just fabulous. I hope you're taking advantage of it, and you can take advantage through June 30th in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. Hey, Miss Bonnie B. Well, we're glad you made it. Okay. Here we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So using several patterns, and then we'll bunt this up to it, butt it up to it. There we go. Fantastic. And then that little bit, doesn't that pop out now against the cloud cover? And that's why you want to be able to make your own pad, because hello, you've got to have ink to go with the cloud cover. And back with my favorite adhesive ever. This is a pretty simple card, but the dimensionals are just adding a lot to it. It provides some depth and a shadow. Right? And so on a big piece like this, there we go. I'm going to add a couple extras. And, you know, I will have the blog post for this card. I will have that. Don't know if I'll have it tomorrow as early as I do. I'm leaving here early, take my mom to see an artery specialist. So we'll see, but I will, by Thursday, I will have a link to my blog post with this card, to my blog post with this card. There we go. That will have all of the measurements as well as a downloadable PDF with the card sketch. So if you thought, oh, that's a cool layout, you can use that again. Yes, Miss Bonnie B. We're just really thrilled with all of this. All right, so more Stampin' Dimensionals. And so if you are just joining us and didn't hear me say it yet, please give my video a thumbs up and a share. That just means the world to me. It doesn't cost you anything. It just helps YouTube to and Facebook, depending on where you're watching, or Rumble or Instagram, that you like my content. And so that'll help let other people see it too. All right. Boy, they were coming off so easily, and now I'm back to that old trick, but I do love it, to press down and make that pop up. And this will go right about there. Okay. And I have one that's already dry. And let's tuck this in. And I decided I needed to keep it at least even with it, right? Because, assuming there's a tabletop there somewhere. And then we have our beautiful flower accents. And they come in two sizes. And again, with my take your pick tool, I always press down on the embellishment to make sure the adhesive sticks to the embellishment and not this acetate sheet. And one more big one over here. And there we go. In my, what I'm thinking is a signature style now, my understated simple card designs with this is the Inspiring Imperfections bundle, or the Kintsugi Inspirations Suite Collection. Oh, in the inside. Thank you, Miss Bonnie B. Oh, thank you, Miss Danette. All right, so let me show you inside. Here's my card. And I did everything the same. Yay. Okay. And that's what I did inside. And this is part of, because we all can use whatever happened to us for the benefit of other people, right? I mean, we see it all the time. If someone gets an illness, someone famous, they bring attention to it, and then they able to raise funds. And, my husband, he passed away from colon cancer, and it wasn't much later. I was able to help someone through a lot of it. And so we get to use that, which is good. If we have to go through something, yeah, let's help others. And so that's one of the patterns. And then another one of the flowers, and there's beauty in your history. So an uplifting card of how God can take all the broken pieces and mend them back together for something beautiful again. Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Cynthia. So, you know what I want to do is show you some other cards with sweet collections that I've done here on my live videos. And this is the Lovely Garden Sweet Collection. So I'm giving the sweet collection names. Now, the cool thing about the sweet collections, oh, Miss Caroline, and the sweet collections, when you go and look them up, it shows all the products in it. So even if you don't want a whole suite, all the products are there. And that was a sample that I copied of theirs. And then I think it was just last week, right? I demonstrated this. And this is the beautiful gallery suite collection. And another beautiful gallery suite collection card. And maybe this was last week. I can't even read. I had my yard sale. A little tired. And wow, the mixed media suite collection. Okay. And so when I was designing this card, I knew I wanted to use this pattern without a doubt. And I tried, because based on this card, okay, so that is the Grown with Love. Do you remember this one? I did this one not too terribly long ago. And I was just so taken by it, because this was a sample that I copied again, that they added the fresh freesia cardstock and embellishments. And me, I'm always using the same colors that I would have stamped. I would have either done a neutral or pulled one of these. So on this card, I did try. And it's now that it's all designed, you might say, well, obviously, but I wasn't designed yet. I was still just playing with this part. But I tried adding in first in Bubble Bath to give it a little bit of color. And okay, well, fresh freesia worked. So I tried that. But I wanted you to see them, because you may think you really like the pop of color, where I ended up staying with the cloud cover. And I did try them larger. Okay. Oh, and I even tried petal pink, because that's one of the colors in the Kintsugi. There we go. Kintsugi Inspirations Designer Series paper. So, as I'm sitting here, now that it's done, I do love color coordination. Could have done that. But you know what? I'm still pleased with what I did, but I wanted you to see it. So there you go. All right. And so this special is unprecedented. We've never had a BOGO sale before with complete suites. Never. And that we can just even do the parts that we want. So if there are designer series papers that are part of a suite, you can buy one, get the other one half off. It is an amazing promotion, but only through June 30th, 2025 in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. There we go. So, okay. I hope you enjoyed this, because I sure enjoyed doing this with you. So let me come back in case we have any questions. There we go. All right, so I can see the chat, and I know what I want to do so I can actually see. There we go. Oh, tone on tone. Oh, one of my absolute favorite things is tone on tone. Wow. I did start by matting all of this in the Misty Moonlight, and I had Misty Moonlight as the base. But then, as you're designing, things do change, and it changed for sure. And just really love all the beautiful patterns in this paper. And like I said, this suite, as of right now, is currently unavailable, but it will be back. But I'm going to say it again. I'm going to encourage you to take advantage of this unprecedented sale with the BOGO suite products. Buy one, get one half off. Wow. And there are suites that are there. The best value will be, because I was having a good time, buy a whole suite and get the second suite half off. That is an amazing, amazing value. So I don't see any. Oh, thank you, Miss Caroline. I don't see any new comments, but I'm so glad you joined me. It is that time of evening where I say that again. Thank you for joining me for my Tuesday evening live card making tutorial. I am here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you come watch me live, you get to avoid the ads. So join me live and then make sure you subscribe to my channel because I do pop in other times, usually later in the week. So if you subscribe, you should get a notification. And so thank you for joining me. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Good evening and God bless.